We are off with another episode of Booze Your Daddy the Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alan Snyder, here with my boy. I demand you compensate me. It's Zach Elias. What's up, buddy?
I think you came in early on the boom. The ticker didn't start, but we'll figure it out in post. Yes, I demand satisfaction. I'll end up on your next podcast. I'm well. You too? How's the tummy?
Niche geet, my friend.
Are you going to be able to handle a beer, or are you just going to be like trembling with it?
Luckily, I have something very light in the alcohol percentage. Right now, I'm actually not struggling so much with the drinking. It's anything salty or the fact that I have no appetite. Like, I had avocado and ramen for dinner. Like,
it's all salty.
There's no salt in avocado.
Ramen? It's just nitrates.
It's without the schmutz.
Oh, that's not real ramen. If it's not out of a styrofoam cup, what are we even doing here?
Booze Your Daddy the Podcast.
Freeze-dried meat, little tiny... So good.
Tuesdays, we do it live. Saturdays, we post it later. We have a lot of episodes for people to listen to. By the way,
I invented putting the spoon on top of it when you get your cup of noodles.
People, we love the love. Everyone we love the hate. Go back, tell a friend, share these episodes. That is the best part because we've had a lot of fun and we're going to keep going. Zach, before we get into tonight's episode, why don't you tell everybody what you are not drinking because the Ravens didn't play this weekend, and then tell them what you are drinking.
This week, I'm drinking one more of these Estrella Galicias, no shot. Next week, we'll be back to form with the shot because Zoomer Zach takes back over the helm of the Jets, and the Ravens don't lose. And I need the Ravens in my knockout pool, so I will be happily taking a shot.
I lost this past week with Jacksonville.
No. Yeah,
I was
Zoe had 7
hours. Zoe was still in?
No. Well, she's lost twice, but I let her pick every week. Just let her know this thing's not easy. She's got a winning record by far.
For me,
she knows what chalk is pathetic. Good parenting.
I got these for you guys when you came to my house for football, and I did not have any because I wanted to have my first one live on air. But Zach, this was one of those things where it didn't matter the cost. It didn't matter what type of beer it was. When I went to Total Wines and I saw Fireman Ed's, it just says NJF Lager, local team, local legend, local beer.
They weren't terrible.
It's an American lager. It's got Fire Marshal Ed on it. I'm excited.
What were those juice bomb things I had about 75 of?
Which
that
one?
Alcoholic Hawaiian punch. It was amazing.
The Happy Dad. It was good, right?
It was better than good. It was like hook it to my veins. Let's go.
Release the cracker.
It was really something special.
Fire in the hole.
Happy Dad. Fire in the hole.
You want me to bring you some?
Does the Pope wear a funny hat? Yeah, let's go.
Zach, we're podcasting here on Hanukkah Eve. Do you know what gay Jewish horses eat?
Jewish horsecock?
Gimel Dalet Hey.
Oh, that wasn't worth the journey.
This is normally when I tell people the name of the episode, and I'm going to bury the lead.
Gimel Dalet Hey.
I'm going to bury the lead right now, Zach. Okay. My shirt. Somebody gave this to me for my birthday. I got so many birthday presents, which I think yours might have got lost in the mail because I still haven't gotten it yet.
Yeah, it was returned to sender. Yeah. I don't believe in giving a grown man a gift.
Oh, Claire, my frere, because you're having your stupid little white Christmas thing. Zach, I am going to win this Saturday. I'm going to win.
Stupid little white thing. Sounds like it's a Klans rally.
That's literally what it's called. It's not called a white Christmas.
What? I mean, Ku Klux Christmas? Christmas?
And coming in 2 weeks, the name of the episode will be Ku Klux Christmas.
Ku Klux Christmas.
Yeah, right. I guarantee you, I don't know how many people will love what I'm bringing to your little thing, but you are either going to have the best night ever, or you might pull for the first time one of these, I don't care what the rules are, give me that goddamn gift. I don't care. Like, I'm kicking everybody out right now if I don't get that. I guarantee it.
But you did that last year when you got the Scotchman calendar.
When I was fine with that. No, I'm telling you, right. you might break the rules. Am I
actually going to like it, or is it like dick socks? Because
you're going to literally go, it's my house. I know I'm breaking the rules, but you know what? I pay for this stuff, so get the fuck out or give me the thing.
Maybe. I was told that dick socks are inappropriate, even though that's what I wanted to get. They're socks, and when you pull them up, is like a little dick down the side, so it looks like there's a leg. It's a full leg's length.
Where do I get these?
Online, but they don't come that quick. They don't arrive that quickly. But But they're pretty fantastic.
So, Zach, my podcast shirt right here, somebody gave me, it says, "Careful, or you will end up on my next podcast," which is
Thanks,
so
Allison.
Yeah, no, she actually gave me something way better, but
Way to break the 5.
Talking to Allison this morning, she
Painful,
does the, "Hey, I have something that would be good for the podcast," where I can tell you in the 3 years I've been doing this, anytime that's ever been said, 90% of the time, it's something that's unbearably stupid. And the other 10% of the time, you're like, yeah, I heard about that. I don't really care. But then every now and then, you're gifted the gift of, we're moving it to the top of the list because this is going on for tonight. Julia doesn't even know this story yet. Well, my sister is a 3rd grade teacher somewhere in Maryland. I probably really shouldn't say. I'll just tell you it's a low-income type of place. And they all have walkie-talkies now in these schools. So the teachers, the principals, everybody can talk, just in case there's ever a pew-pew, right? Well,
usually those schools these days are safer. Just ask Chris Rock.
Yesterday on the intercom, first thing in the morning, there is a teacher who goes, "I need somebody to come to my room right now." And now I'm assuming if there's an active shooter, they have some type of like watermelon meow meow type of code to say. And this woman didn't say that, so it wasn't like a big emergency. But my sister heard it and she was like, that does sound kind of strange. Maybe that's what the shooter wanted to hear. Who knows? Great. Well, the principal goes down there. They handle the issue. They come back. My sister finally goes to the principal's office and goes, "Okay, what happened?" A kid in 3rd grade showed up with a duffel bag full of money. Stacks on stacks of $100 bills in a duffel bag.
$100 bills. In
And
PG County?
No, and was giving them out to every single kid in his class. We're talking like
Give him my address.
Tens of thousands of dollars. And the best part is the little kids are like, "I'm going to buy new shoes. I'm going to buy an iPad." The first thing that I said was like, somebody's father's going to jail. But you know what my second question was, right? I was like, so what was the excuse? What? Oh, well, they're just saving money for a down payment on a house, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, you've got to be effing kidding me. But the best part was the little kid who was different than the person on your subway said, "Happy MexiChristmas."
This is my favorite kid. I want to party with him. Just wherever he takes me. We'll go to Orlando's. This kid must slay at the strip club.
My sister...
Do they all have the same serial number?
I've given you everything that I know right now.
She's on this little fine program. This How Do You Do?
What I can tell you right now, Zach, is she's not smart enough to make this up. Like, I heard this story. I was like, are you kidding me right now?
But is she smart enough to cash the hundies? Did she get
nobody's getting anything. I mean, that's one of those things where... Dude, if you're the teacher, how do you not just say, like, okay, now...
Confiscate the bag and he can have what's left at the end of the day.
Right? Like, Paco, I'll be taking that from you.
You can have the bag back later. Here's your transport.
Oh, my God. Dude, that was one of those stories. I was like, I can't believe this is real, and I can't believe the kid was Mexican.
You know what they call that? The odds of that happening? 1,000,000 to 1.
Oh, jeez. That was worse than my... What I really wanted to call tonight's episode, Zach, was the new Captain Stabbin. Tell me you heard about your boy who lasted just a little bit.
Who's Captain Stabbin? What was he what ship did he pilot?
I think it was like a 70s movie or something.
Go on.
Your boy, Derek Chauvin, lasted just over 500 days in the penitentiary before he got stabbed not once, not thrice, but 22 times.
That's like Strangers on a Train, but like more. Not Strangers on a Train. Murder on the Orient Express. That was 12 stabbings.
How about the fact that he survived 22 shankings? Like, what in the hell?
He's a big guy.
Is he? No, he wasn't.
He's a big guy.
Give me a 240. Bigger than Eric?
Taller, too. But their weight starts with the same number. Although he's slimmed down, he's running.
Yeah, good for him.
But in the zipline days, oof.
This was one of those, like, it made me kind of think of like the stabbings and Oz, which I always, anytime the topic of Oz ever comes up, I always go, Adebisi is a top 10 character, like all-time top 10. Like, it's not disputable for me.
And all right. We could do that. Best TV characters at all.
I'm getting there, Zachy. We have a little bit going on these next couple of weeks, but when we have a slow week or a quick turnaround, I think that should be our next one because Guess who died?
Who died?
Norman Lear.
Norman
Who is
Lear.
that?
Yeah, right.
Who is that?
The guy who created All in the Family et al.
Right. And this came up in a group convo the other day. This came up in a group conversation this morning.
Yeah.
Today, yes. Today we were talking about it, and one of my friends was like, why does it even matter? And I came out with
By the way,
Archie Bunker
is still alive.
Archie Bunker is an all-timer. Like he's like, what did he ever say? And we're like, Edith! And
all of it.
exactly. And it just got me back to exactly what you said. I was like, exactly. We should do like a top 10 all-time TV characters because there's so many shows and movies where you just go like, that wasn't so great, but like Bill the Butcher in Gangs of New York was out of this world. Like there's some characters.
Show.
I know,
but characters of all in general?
Well, or like, Al from Deadwood. Like the show is fine, but the first 2 seasons are out of this world. And then it gets weird. You know, they did like a 15-year hiatus between I think 3 and 4, and then a movie. Oh, you'll be fine with that. So, the other thing I wanted to talk about
because with movies, it begins and ends with Al Chervik, Rodney, and Caddyshack.
I put this in a new section that it doesn't work, but I'm calling it right knee red, right foot blue. Where my favorite type of porn on TV online.
Twister?
No, it's when somebody playing a sport starts doing Twister because their feet are not cooperating with what their leg is supposed to be doing. I thought
it was like sports locker room porn.
Tell me you saw the guy on the sidelines at the Saints game this past weekend. Were you watching that at all?
No.
So you know how all those...
but like, yeah.
Well, the big thing of the weekend was the security guy at the Eagles thing. Couldn't care less. I don't want to talk about it. It's been covered, right? Don't touch the players. Back up. Like, done.
Right.
There was... I think he was a chain gang guy, like holding the thing. And there was a player, I think Kamara or Taysom Hill got ran out of bounds. And there's no sound on the sidelines, but you just see slowly, the play kind of ends and they just turn and look down. And there is a guy with yellow stripes who's on the ground. And Zach, like his one leg was facing north and his foot was going southwest. Like,
ouch.
It was so good. But my question is, why do any of these people need to be standing so close to the sidelines?
They don't.
Like, I get they're there for protection from the fans, but can't they just be closer that way?
Yeah, they don't need to be that close to the thing. I mean, it doesn't happen more often.
Well, because people go like, oh, I feel bad for that guy. You're like, he's not getting paid the money. He makes a salary, but I don't get why these people have to be so close.
What do you think the stick guy makes? Because that's not a hard job, stick man.
Oh,
you have to be able to count to 10. That's the job.
Not even that well.
What?
Not even that well.
You do. It's not that hard. The stick is a chain. Once you get to 11, it stops. So what does stick man make? 50.
I've heard the referees have part-time jobs. Like I have no idea.
The stick man makes 50 grand. That goes pretty far in Idaho, where he's from. He's not living on Park Avenue.
Zach, feeling jerky? You got some quirky?
I do. Got a fair amount, so buckle up, toots.
Oh Jesus! Because I got Pishadoo for days.
Yeah, here we go. Are you familiar with the Oakland Bees?
No.
An independent team in Oakland created by the fans, not the A's, the Bees. I like it.
What do they play, or what do they do?
They try to play baseball. They're going to be starting next year when the team leaves.
In what league? They have to...
They're independent. They're an independent league, like the Ducks.
So they're starting a team.
Yeah. Yes, the fans are starting a team called the Bees.
They're going to get wax and be out of like everything.
It's a place to drink.
They can't afford the travel to the Sacramento Queens.
They'll come to you. Andre Dawson is pissy that he's going into the Hall of Fame as an Expo. He wants to win as a Cub. Just shut your mouth and go into your hall.
Yeah, shut up and run the bases. I hear you.
Agreed.
I thought they get to pick though. That's strange.
No, they don't. That was the Wade Boggs thing. He took an extra $1 million to go into the Hall of Fame as a Devil Ray for the 1 year he was there, and they go, no way. You can keep your money, but you're going in as a Red Sox. But he still took the money. Here, Hall and Oates are suing each other.
It is on my list. You sunk my submarine. Yeah.
I mean,
do you know why?
Yeah, because Oates is selling his catalog and Hall's not thrilled.
Yeah. So this is one of those things
they look great. These two train wrecks.
I don't know if I agree with them or disagree because neither of them are anything. They're the sum of their parts. But can you imagine being in any type of relationship where Hall always has to sit there, like stage left, and Oates always has to sit, like they're always.
We're always on the same side. We're Hall and Oates.
I mean, honestly, what's Oates' name? I couldn't even. Adam Oates? I have no idea.
Daryl Oates. Maybe it's Daryl Hall.
if
Daryl Hall and John Oates. I got it wrong.
okay, if John Oates came to you looking for an apartment and goes, "Oh, I used to play some music back in the day," how soon before you realize he's Hall and Oates?
When he applies and I see his name.
Oh, you would know it right away?
Once right away, he'd have to apply over the end. Like once he actually goes for it, okay, Daryl Hall. Now I know who you are, or Daryl Oates, whatever.
No, John Oates is what I said, not Daryl Hall.
I would get it. I would be once I saw the name, I'd be able to recognize him.
How quickly? How quickly?
Within minutes, but it would be at the end of our time together.
Okay, it's not like if somebody comes and applies for house and their name is John Bon Jovi, and you're like,
Or
"Oh
like
my
if
god."
Bon Jovi just showed up, I could pull him. Wouldn't need to know his name. Oh, you're Bon Jovi? Yeah, take what you want.
You would recognize him by the way he. I'm just telling you.
I wouldn't know either of these two.
If John Oates was sitting next to me at a dinner next week,
No clue.
if he came to your White
I
Christmas,
sat next to
wouldn't
Magnus
fucking know him.
for Magnuson at dinner, recognized him right away.
Don't even know who that is.
Yeah, you do. The Norwegian guy who used to be in World's Strongest Man on ESPN 12 back in the 90s. The guy pulls the truck and like.
It also helps that guy was like 4 kicks tall,
He
right?
had 2 shrimp dinners. He ordered 2 for himself and his family, smoking hot blonde white.
Zach,
Little Rugrat
I've
kid.
seen you ate 2 shrimp dinners at my party the other day.
There was shrimp. And the ocean called. They're running out of shrimp.
And now there's way less shrimp.
I'm aware. Subway is coming out with the foot-long cookie. How gluttonous are we?
Well, they always do the 3 cookies for $1, so it's
this
probably
is a foot-long cookie, and it's more than that. They lined them up on the New York One show. The foot-long's got it smashed. It's an extra cookie at least.
That's not terrible. 4 cookies?
Not
you don't know
great.
people. I know somebody who listens to the show that could eat a sleeve of Oreos and not even think about it.
Houston Josh, Dallas Josh. I don't know. He looks like a fucking. That's the guy.
Wow, certainly gets the
Wow.
square. Yeah, he's a big Oreo guy.
Yeah, there's a recall. Buckle up on Manischewitz Dark Gelt. Dark chocolate Gelt by Shevitz recalled. So there's that.
I don't
It's
do
the milk
Gelt.
stuff. What?
I don't do Gelt. Doesn't
Everyone
matter.
does Gelt.
Not when you don't.
Has been added to the dictionary. I hate that. I hate all these
Saw it.
newfangled words. Riz
Fangled.
as in charisma. Fuck that.
It's also like to charm. It's not like you have Riz. It's you can get a girl.
Yeah.
Like you Riz them.
You don't have Riz. I got Riz. I got Riz for days.
I'll Riz you under the table.
There's your Riz. Okay. So you are a big McDonald's fan, right?
That's not fair.
Here we go. Are you familiar with the new McDonald's of Cosmix?
No.
There is a space-themed McDonald's that's going to be a pop-up restaurant. There it is, Cosmix. I'm sure you will be going there. Look how excited you are.
Where is it? We should go right
there's
now.
a couple. One is in Bolingbrook, Illinois, and there will be more.
Okay,
What
well,
is
one's going to have to come
Cosmix?
in.
Okay, they have the Golden Arches. We have the Golden Arcs. Cosmix is a new spin-off restaurant idea from McDonald's. It's described as a small format concept with the DNA of McDonald's, but its own unique personality. Space-based themes. So there's that. In the vein of McDonald's, keeping with McDonald's, they are bringing back, for your pleasure, the adult Happy Meal. Will somebody get this kid a Happy Meal? It comes with a classic toy. I assume it's the rabbit. It's the adult Happy Meal.
No. See, here's the problem with this. It's like an extra value meal, but not enough food.
Yeah, but it comes with a toy for adults.
Yeah, I was never really a toy person.
Well, you will be. Because last year's Four-Eyed Grimace is currently listed on eBay for $30,000. So
the butt plug Grimace?
That's the guy. And my favorite story of the week. Woman who threw burrito bowl at Chipotle worker sentenced to working at fast food restaurant.
Love it.
She flipped the fuck out on a Chipotle worker, slammed her burrito bowl,
I
went
saw
crazy.
this. Yeah.
They sentenced her to 120 days in jail, but said if you want a commuted sentence, you could have 60 of them working as a fast food restaurant behind the counter person. I love this judge. She went absolutely nuts. The judge said, "Is this how you should act when your food is not right?" And the person, and there she is slamming it in the guy's face. And it goes on from there. I mean, I love things like that. Creative punishments. And there she is all happy now.
She's rehabilitated.
A real charmer. Yeah. So there's
Speaking of rehabilitated, you hear Pistorius just got out of jail?
Really?
You can kill somebody, and like 9 years later, you're like, well, he's better now.
Yeah.
Even Chauvin's only in jail for like 20 years. which is
He'll
not
be out.
the.
He'll be out in 10 if he makes it.
He'll be dead way before then. Some guy,
Most
the guy who stabbed him was like, "Oh, I only got 22 off because they stopped me." How you survived 22 shankings? Good on you.
Good on you. That's what I got.
Zach, dare I ask what you're watching, or is it the same shit?
It's the same crap because there's also football on.
Yeah,
So there's
here.
a lot to be done. But I'm liking it. The Black Mirror.
Do I steer you wrong?
Maybe.
Who loves you, baby? Who loves you?
Well, I'm running low because I'm on to season 5 now, so they're not long. What do I watch next?
There's some duds. There's like some home runs, and then like you're watching long strikeouts.
Oh, there's some duds. Some of them could be that tight 30, and there's a lot of room you can trim from them.
Some of the longer ones too are the ones that are not the good ones too. That's the shitty thing. I'll think about it. I'll get back to you as far as that. What am I watching? Is well, when you're married.
Everyone tells me to watch Virgin River, and Molly says Slow Horses. No.
Slow Horses we bailed on. It was too confusing and too slow, literally. And Virgin River, I've seen 20 minutes of at a patient's house the other day, and the only thing that was good about it is your boy Otter is back in it. And I was like, oh, Otter getting work? Good for him.
Good for him. Is Slow Horses about race horses? I really hope so.
No. It's about like a British underground mafia.
So it's not about the track.
It was like 6 episodes, and then we were like, I don't care. I'm not doing any more.
Right.
And Julia was with me. People, it's a little too artsy fartsy. I don't get it there.
Allison's a McRib person. You one of these hippies that follows it around the country? A flowered van.
As long as there's a coupon for it.
And a cruise.
This past weekend.
She clips coupons? Love it.
We finally sat down. Julia's been fetching about watching that Asian quiz lady show that's on Hulu where it has Aquafina, Sandra Oh, and I thought it was a Will Ferrell cameo. He is a major player in the thing, which almost saves it. It is the most predictable, kind of boring, but we had to watch it because
funny music side of rice, there it is.
Yeah, pretty much. I can't recommend it. It chuckled a little bit. It's basically like Jeopardy. Everything is so predictable. It's very tongue in cheek. It wasn't great.
What's it called? Like the Soy Luck Club or something?
Quiz Lady is what we watch.
Made that one up.
I can't recommend it, but I have a good one for next week. My Hip Hop Anonymous from today, which is the best thing that I've heard in a very long time, was I go to see this guy and he gave me permission to talk about everything, and I don't need to give you his name. But we're sitting there talking, and it's like he's this old guy, and he starts telling me about some stuff. And half the time these pictures start talking, I'm just like, oh, cool. You worked here. You worked there. This guy starts going like, well, I worked at GE. I used to do aeronautics. And I'm like, oh, very nice. Anything I might have heard of? And he goes, I sent the first chimpanzee to space.
He's the guy?
I'm like, wait,
whoa,
what?
I would open with every conversation with that, no matter what. I would just open with it.
It was like I'm sitting there like on Shark Tank where I'm just checking out, and I was like, wait a minute, what did you just say? And he starts telling me all these stories. He goes, do you know how strong they are? I said, I've never experienced it, but I've heard. He goes, we buckled this thing up and had a whole harness, and it was a 6-month-old baby. He goes, it takes 2 hands and starts throwing us around to get out of this harness.
The thing must have been fucking terrified, by the way.
Oh, of course. He goes, but the best part of it was when we actually like lock him in the spaceship to do like all these tests, there's a little peephole, and I put my head in to look, and I see his eye looking back at me, but it looked very strange. I couldn't figure it out. So I kind of move, and then I take a step back. It was his butthole pressed up against the window.
So like us.
It's when you go like, and he goes, it was just a weird angle. And I'm like, no,
if someone shoved you into a little tube and you got one window, that's the first thing you'd do.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
1,000,000%. Yeah, right up there. If they're looking in, they're getting my ass.
Pishadoo of the week. I now only have 12 candidates. Oh, the monkey was great. 12 candidates here. I can't believe you didn't bring this up. Every week you talk to me about your boy George Santos. Did you hear the latest?
I'm gonna miss him.
Maggie, he's on Cameo.
I heard. 200.
Wait, en français, he has been taken down temporarily by Cameo.
It crossed my mind, but your birthday passed.
I'm going to keep giving you shit about my birthday till something happens.
Yeah, it would have been a gift, I suppose. It did cross my mind. I'm not sure I know how to use Cameo, but the first thing when I saw that was, fuck, maybe I should have got one for Alan.
For my job, a lot of what I have to do is, doctors write orders. I go see patients because we get the orders. And then I have to call the doctor to verify the orders, or just to say, like, hey, doctor, I know that you wrote this down. I'm doing exactly what you're saying, but I have to tell you, and we're going to fax you the paperwork over. It is the most mundane bullshit
You went
thing
to school
ever,
for this?
dude. And then, well, anyway, when you call, half the time you just talk to a receptionist who, the other day I actually was talking to
Do you
somebody and I said,
flirt?
no. I said, hey, I saw your patient. I'll be seeing them for a month. And the girl goes, okay, great. And I go, do you want their name or date of birth? She goes, yeah, I should probably get that down. Because they also are going, just send us the goddamn paperwork. It doesn't matter. But today, what really bothered me was when I called a guy, and I think they outsourced their services to India, and we go back and forth, back and forth. At the end of it, he goes, okay, have an okay day. And I was like, what in the fuck? An okay day? Who
He's
says
being
that?
honest, man. Whoever has a good day.
Everything this guy says was like, okay, thank you, Mr. Alan Snyder. I'm like, Dr. Alan Snyder, but I don't want to correct them, Sanjay,
He's probably doctor also, by the way. He's there. Yeah, I would have just. When's the last time you had a good day? If you have an okay day, we get to tomorrow. We're doing just fine.
Send me good wishes. That's all I need from you.
No, what do his good wishes mean?
The
We had a great Thanksgiving. Hope the famine in your village is over.
The Premier League is going to be instituting a penalty box. I'm not sure how I feel about this.
Hate it.
Yeah, right? Like, I enjoy the kick the people out where they show the card. I wouldn't hate one of those come out of the penalty box breakaways that they have in ice hockey sometimes. Those are fantastic.
Those are great. Those are so cheap, but they're great.
The penalty box is really fun.
I don't think they're actually going to do it.
I fell sucker the other day to watching one of those recap videos, watching one of those projection of the NFL drafts, and it means nothing, right? Because depending on your seating and depending what's going to happen, and I just couldn't help but go toward the end because, the Ravens typically draft at the end of the first round. Sucks to not suck. And there's some defensive back, I think he plays at Alabama, his name is Kool-Aid McKinstry. Have you heard of this?
What?
And it's spelled like exactly what you think. KOOL-AID.
Still not funnier than haha Clinton Dix.
I disagree. Haha's fine. That's just like they made it. Like, this guy's name is Kool-Aid.
It's ridiculous.
This is one of those where I'm like, I want to see
his legal name.
Legal name. I want some more apostrophes.
It's his legal name. It's not like Phil Kool-Aid something or like Steve Kool-Aid.
I'm telling you, when he gets to the NFL, because like Tank Dell's name was not Tank Dell, but he just changed it officially to Tank Dell, so now it is.
Yeah.
So
right.
Remember this next year when we talk about this. You'll be like, oh, there's a guy named Kool-Aid?
No, I know there's a guy named Kool-Aid, but like that's his real name.
I'm telling you what I know, Zachy.
Unlike that tight end you keep sending me his last name.
Which one?
F-A-G. That guy. Went to Notre
Dame.
Yeah, that's Fajwa.
There was a viral clip from a high school basketball game that was one of those where I just started to burst out laughing because it got me there. The guy is 7 feet tall in high school, right? So nobody's coming near his basket. So some little guy drives in. This guy barely jumps, destroys him with the block where he just grabs the ball. And as the guy is laying on the ground out of bounds because he gets blown up, right? The guy just throws the ball at him so he doesn't get the possession. It went down as like the most disrespectful foul ever. I think he got a technical for it, but like, can you just imagine just some little kid, you block them, and as they're laying on the ground, because that's a legal move where you throw the ball at the player's feet, but the guy's laying there. I think it hit him in the chest or something.
That's like brutal. What I did to was it Julia's brother at your bachelor party during kickball, and I just pegged him for no reason. It's the same thing.
I am trying to be healthy for my son, and we bought food, and I'm making baby food, and I'm trying to get better at it because I want to give him all the opportunities to be healthy and grow strong. Well, some of these things
opportunities you never had.
They didn't take credit where we shop for our food. Mm-hmm. Well, some of these things I had to like Google. I just want to make sure I'm doing right, whether it's cutting a cantaloupe that I've never done or cooking certain things. Well, I want to introduce scrambled eggs for him. So I watched a 1 minute and 47-second video the other day. Granted, it was on 2 times speed. How to make a scrambled egg for a baby. Do you know how you do it?
You scramble the egg because kids will be eating the shits in the beginning of time. What's not newfangled parents?
It is literally the same way I would make a scrambled egg for you, Zach.
You never made me a scrambled egg.
I make great scrambled eggs, omelet style especially.
But I make eggs a la daddy. Zoe loves my eggs.
I can't believe I watched this. I can't believe I was like, this is a video that has hundreds of thousands of clicks on it. Like, I get cutting it at the end. We should have been like all of it. Couldn't believe people watch this. Couldn't believe I watched it. Maybe I'm the asshole. I keep bringing him up, and you keep telling me to let it go, and I don't care. But your boy Jared Kelenic, who had his own logo and his own hype, has been traded again because he's not a big deal and people need to stop caring about him and he needs to take it down a notch.
I've never cared about him.
You cared about him. He was a number 1 overall pick.
No, ever cared more about him. I thought he'd be a bust because they're all busts. You haven't been watching this team.
By
the way, he's going to be a superstar now that he's on the Braves. Just Met killer.
He'll be a Met killer. That's who will.
Yeah, Met killer. Pat Burtle.
UFC Hall of Famer Tito Ortiz, who you've heard of, has started a restaurant, maybe even a few of them. And wouldn't you know, it's harder than you think. He's gotten a bunch of restaurant violations. You know what really bothers me? People who start restaurants going like, how hard can this be?
People who eat at Tito Ortiz's bother me. Hey, where do you want to go tonight? Let's go to Tito's. Or Jenna's, or whatever they call it. Jameson's.
I don't think they're on good terms, my friend.
She's single? I'll swap Jenna's right now. You can have mine.
Really?
For the evening.
For the evening?
I couldn't last the full evening. For before dinner.
I think we've like talked about this before. Everything about that is like you're grossed out by her. You don't live up to anything, and no,
I loved everything.
My wife, not feeling so great, I picked her up a smoothie today from her favorite place. And when you go there, they do this, and I know you have this in New York City, where they type in your order, they swing their big Apple tablet around, and it's like tipping 20, 25, 30, 35. And they don't ever get to see, so I just go like, absolutely not. Like, you're not doing anything. But wouldn't you know, right next to it, they have these little contests where it's this or that. This is where I'm going with this. And it's like one of the baristas says, I prefer Coke. And the other barista says, I prefer Pepsi.
Oh.
And what in Jersey, definitely. What you can do is put $1 in each one of their tip jars to vote for which one of them is right. I thought that was so much more thirstier than the smoothie and the Coke.
I love that.
You like this?
I love it. The creativity.
Oh, get out of here.
Those are not doing anything either way. So you might as well just show some appreciation for like, we're at least simpatico. You're not going to do dick over there. But like, I like you more than I like this guy. But my guy, who I'm voting for, has to be the guy in front of me.
I think they were. I don't look at their names.
I want both of them.
Shout out to loyal podcast listener Ron Katz, who was in front of the White House. I don't know if he saw. He said to say hi to you. I said, Zach will say something snarky back, so it doesn't even matter.
I love him. Go on.
He is great. The White House has decided to put up an ice rink for the first time in like 40 years or something like that.
Oh God, but Biden's going down.
Oh my God. Zach, he breaks a hip. I can't imagine. But do you know that like the people that are allowed to go ice skating, it's nurses, frontline workers, retired military. Like, you and I will never get near that ice rink, no matter what we do.
Challenge?
And not spend the weekend in jail? Yeah, sure.
Steaks?
How are you getting on this ice rink?
Steaks?
No, because now I feel like you know something.
I've got a cousin in Congress. I got a real shot. Lois, it's Zach. I got big money on ice skating here. Let's go.
Do you know who Tiffany Haddish is?
Yes, Jenna loves her.
She's okay. I think her personality helps out everything about her.
Jenna or Haddish?
Haddish. Jenna's delightful, though.
She's awful.
Haddish got arrested for a DUI or DWI or one of those things in California, where she had been drinking and was tired and pulled her car over and had the car running and was sleeping. And she got arrested and charged and all this. Apparently, it's not the first time she's done something like this. And maybe it's the rules, but I feel like you're kind of doing the right thing. Like, you're like, I just want to sleep it off in my car right now. Problem is, you can't have the car running.
Yeah, the car shouldn't be running.
But you're doing the right thing.
But the car shouldn't be running because you're going to be...
What if she was hot or cold?
Not my problem.
Yeah, don't be wrong. I mean, she's a bazillionaire. She could have taken an Uber and done... She could have left her car for all I care. She could have called me. I would have picked her up. But, like, it's just one of those rules. I just feel like, you know, you're dragging and driving. Like, that's not good, but you pulled over.
It's not great, but like, I don't think she's been arrested for it. Celebrities shouldn't get arrested for things.
And Hall & Oates was my banger at the end, but the one that really bothered me was this past weekend, the UFC was in Austin, and they did one of those Jimmy V, Cancer, Stuart Scott, like, we want to raise money, raise awareness.
Guy?
Who's what guy?
Who's their guy? Who's the UFC guy? It's not Jimmy V or Stuart Scott. Who's the UFC? Oh.
No, Stuart Scott was a big MMA proponent, and he practiced. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
oh no, they show him all the time. Like, when he was fighting cancer, he was like training MMA with like he was wearing like a lacrosse goalie's helmet while he was doing it, but he was totally into the sport. But they have many that they've shown the thing a million times. I can send it to you. But they now have, unfortunately, some trainers, some fighters who have fought cancer, and they even have one who recently died. And I'm sitting there on Saturday night watching guys beat the living shit out of each other, holding my sick son. He's snoring on me, and they put on like the most heartbreaking story in the world. And I'm just sitting there fucking losing it, going like, I'm here to watch people kill each other. Why are they doing this to me on a Saturday night? I know it's sweet, but when you have a beautiful kid who died of 32 of colon cancer, where there was a fight where
I can't watch any of those stories. I always change from ESPN when they get to the heartfelt story. I can't watch it.
I couldn't move, and I was watching the fight, and I'm sitting there. This guy was in the ring beating somebody's face, and one time it looked at the camera and goes, "Hi, Mom," and then they go to like his mom being like, "He was always such a sweet boy," and like you're just like, what the hell are they doing? Why do they have to do this? Like, I'll give you money.
Yeah, I can't really not show this anymore. Like, they could show it and say, we'll never show this again if we raise this much money, or we're going to show it every week until we hit this number. It'll be gone in a minute. They'll hit the number in 2 seconds.
George Santos is on Cameo. Have an okay day. Premier League penalty box. Kool-Aid McKinstry, 7-foot basketball guy, disrespecting that little boy out of bounds. Scrambled eggs for babies, same as for humans and adults. Kellenic gets moved again. Tito Ortiz started a restaurant, not going well. $1 for this or $1 for that, after they've already asked for 30%. White House ice rink that I'll never be on. Apparently Zach will be on. Tiffany Haddish gets arrested because she wanted to sleep it off. And UFC cancer stuff.
I think it's the scrambled eggs. I don't know why. I think it's the stupidest thing in the world. Like, it's an egg. You scramble it. It's not rocket science.
I watched it.
And you're the Pishadoo.
Booze Your Day, the podcast. Thanks for listening to tonight's episode.
It was Cameo for kicking off Santos. Fuck them. You should let him cook.
I hope everybody's going to have an amazing Hanukkah, because the next time we do another Booze Your Daddy, I will have had latkes once and eaten steak twice with Zach.
Mm-hmm.
See what I did there? You're making steak on Saturday, aren't you?
Absolutely. God help us.
Feed me. We out.
Feed me.